Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we're taking a look at the Hollywood Racks Destination E2 bike platform rack. This is designed for your extra heavy electric bikes, and we'll take a look at how it fits here on our 2021 Jeep Gladiator. Our focus here today is just to talk about how this works with the truck and the feature, and it has a lot of cool features, but the feature that impressed me the most is the tilt away. We have this knob right over here. You're gonna wanna rotate that knob where it's just loose enough to push out. And when you push out, let's see, not loose enough there. And when you push this out, it's gonna stay there. So it is currently ready to tilt it away. But when you have your extra heavy electric bikes there, you may wanna, prepare yourself, get yourself ready. You can just use the truck to brace, push out on the rack, and it goes down all the way there. That might look like an excessive tilt, but when you have a tailgate like this on your truck, you don't have that many options for opening that tailgate with bike still on. So here we have plenty of clearance between our bike rack and our tailgate, meaning we can get into our truck bed, grab whatever we may need, take it back out, lift this back up, and we didn't have to go through the process of taking our bikes off. So once you got everything you needed, you just lift up on the rack, there we go, and tighten it back into place. So that's a very unique way of tilting away your bike rack. I like how it goes down pretty much a full 90 degrees, even with heavy electric bikes. The downside to that is you have multiple straps that allow you to do that. So it is a little bit of a hassle to take your bike off, but I'll guide you through the process. There's 1, 2, 3 straps, as well as a frame mount, which can be locked. So we're gonna start with the straps. You press a lever, that releases the strap so that you can lift it up and over. Press a lever, release the strap. You have an included ramp with this bike rack. One downside is the ramp is not attached to the bike rack, so you are gonna have to keep this inside of your cab or in your truck. But once you've arrived at the trail, you just pop this into the back wheel cradle, let that drop to wherever you want it to drop, and now you are ready to disengage the frame mount. So this has a clamp that goes around your frame. Once you have it in the unlocked position, you can just turn this lever or this knob, and then it opens up that clamp. With it fully disengaged, just let that pop back out. And now you can carefully ramp your bike down. You're gonna have to tilt it and steer it a little bit to get those pedals out of the way, but definitely a lot easier than lifting a heavy electric bike. So this does have a weight capacity of 70 pounds per bike, which is very impressive, and that's where the ramp would be especially helpful. Now we also have a capacity of 4.5 inches for your tire width. So for your fat bike tires, you have those extra thick straps for those. Now speaking of straps, I think I did mention about how there's 3 of them. So a little bit more than your regular bike rack, but with what this can do, it makes sense. Now this doesn't take up much space behind your truck, but when you have a truck in a small garage, you need to know how much clearance you have inside. So from our bumper to the end of the rack, it sits at 32 inches of length added. Now for ground clearance, which is how high you're gonna have to lift your bikes up to get onto the rack, the end of the rack is at 21.5 inches. The bottom end is 25.5 inches. So that's gonna be where your bike sits. So if you're going off-roading or things like that, that's when you think about ground clearance. In our case here though, with a Gladiator and heavy bikes, again, that's how high you lift the bikes up. Very helpful to have a ramp. But what if we're not planning on going out for a bike ride just yet, but we also don't want to take the bike rack off because it is kind of heavy? You can move this into the compact or portable position. You first need to lower these levers, and that way you can lower this mast and then secure it with those levers, and then secure the levers with the rubber straps. The next step is to take this pin out. So we got a clip, so push that clip out of the way, and then you can pop this pin off There we go. Once that pin is off, you can then reach over to your bike rack and then lift it into the folded position. So remember where you took that pin out? We're gonna pop that right back in as long as the holes here are lined up. The length this now adds to the back of the truck is from the bumper to the hinge 16 inches. So that's half of the length it added when it was folded down. You got to park in a tight spot or you have a small garage, this is how you'll have it. The downside to having this folded up is it does kind of interfere with the back of your truck. Your taillights are still very visible on both sides. You can still see through your rear window, but if you have a backup camera, and ours is centered on our tailgate, there is this opening in between the bike rack and there's plenty of clearance there. So what's going to happen is you are definitely gonna see the bike rack in your rear view camera, but you'll kind of be able to see through it to the cars behind you. So that could be a make it or break it feature for you. If you want to, you could just drive around with it in the down position and then it won't cover it. The way this tightens down to your hitch is also unique to this bike rack. So we have a hitch alignment collar or pin thing here. Once you pop that into your hitch receiver, it stops there. And you just need to make your adjustments for your hitch pin and lock using this knob here in the back. So it can be kind of tricky. Check out our full review, which explains how to do that. But I like how secure it is using that method. There's really no play between our bike rack and our hitch receiver as you ride around. And when you have a lot of weight on your hitch, that is important. So my personal thoughts about this bike rack is you can really see it's how it's designed for those extra heavy electric bikes. You have those extra straps, you have that frame mount for your step-through bikes, you have that very unique tilt-away feature. With the tailgate here on our Gladiator, we've actually tried a bunch of different bike racks and most of them didn't make the cut. We could not lower the tailgate all the way down. This one can, and that is impressive. The downside to this is, again, it's gonna take up a little bit more time than you might be used to. If you want something super quick and easy to use, check out the Rocky Mount Skyd Rail. That has not as high of a weight capacity, but it's very easy to mount and dismount your bikes, and with a 60-pound weight capacity can still work for most of those electric bikes. But all in all, solid bike rack, great way to carry around those extra heavy electric bikes. And that was a look right here at our Hollywood Racks Destination E 2-bike platform rack on the 2021 Jeep Gladiator.